In just about 3 weeks from now, the year 2023 will roll in like a much-awaited album launch featuring many political tracks, but with one likely to go to the top of the charts. While the candidates are leaving nothing to chance in the frenzy of interaction with the electorate, the tunes coming from the followers have been feisty, combative, and often contentious. The scripts being written by the candidates today await the scrutiny of the electorate, who are the examiners in February. It is a key junction every 4 years which will define the destination of state for another cycle. Experts say those on the podium must be given every opportunity to have their say on every national issue to give the populace pointers to the strategic and emotional reflexes of those who aspire to captain Nigeria's big ship. While many eyes are on the big political masquerades already at the village square, some are focusing fully on the ballot itself, its safety and sanctity as the determinant of our collective aspiration. Political Update today will track the activities of the candidates, their supporters, and the agencies which will play key roles in the nation's date with destiny by navigating the labyrinth that is our nation's political space. I am Fisayo Gofui. Welcome. This week, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, was in Oyo State. He met with the traditional institution, faith-based organizations, women and youths in a bid to get them on side. Raise vision for a better Nigeria. Oyo State indigenes who just ushered in a new PDP governor were given more assurances of better days ahead. Let's take in some of the moments from that tour.
Freedom Park in Osogbo played host to PDP stalwarts across the country, including the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and his running mate Ifeanyi Okowa, who came to seek support of the people in the 2023 general elections. Leaders of the party, including Oyo State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke, described Atiku as the right choice Nigeria needs to tackle insecurity and other challenges in the country. PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar assured that if given the opportunities to serve the country, it would ensure steady power supply, provide employment opportunities, and stabilize the nation's economy.
I have come to say a very big thank you, and I appeal to you, I plead with you to come out in greater numbers than you did in the last state election and vote PDP in the next general election. That is the only way.
PDP chairman Iyocha Ayu at the event officially received one-time Deputy Speaker House of Representatives Honorable Lasso Yusuf to the party.
And so on the PDP, the party has lauded efforts of some South-South governors to convert for votes for the party. A spokesperson of the Presidential Campaign Council of the party, Kola Olugbodiyan, urged the party faithful to keep up the momentum till the general elections.
Spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization, Kola Olugbodiyan, urging the South-South governors on the platform of the party not to relent in bringing all their brother governors on board, irrespective of their political affiliations. PDP and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar are ready to embark on steps that will further unite members and supporters towards achieving a common electoral victory, Kola stressed.
And we are very confident as a party that the people are rallying with us and we are bound to win this election.
Meanwhile, a coalition of civil society groups for transparency and good governance has hinted that at no time has the G5 governors of the PDP disclosed that they are no longer members of the party. The coalition appealed to non-partisan actors to desist from meddling into the internal affairs of the party, pointing out that such is unconstitutional.
Meanwhile, more groups are lending their support to the Tinubu-Shettima Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress APC. The APC National Integrity Movement has launched its independent campaign council to further energize the party's campaigns and boost voter mobilization.
The members are comprised from the national, zonal, state, local government, ward and polling units, which we are going to do We are going to use them to make sure that we canvass support for our candidate, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate. And we are going to make sure that we are going to work very hard, one, to sustain the mobilization of all other groups and all other forces that are mobilizing. And we are going to make sure that we do everything possible to protect our votes and to create more awareness for our teaming voters to see reason why APC should return in power beyond 2023 by the grace of God.
Of the APC presidential candidate, Senator Oluwemi Tinubu, says Nigerian youths will have an unprecedented platform to excel by supporting the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima ticket. She made her comments while leading the APC Southwest Women to flag off the Tinubu Shettima presidential campaign in Lagos.
The visit to the State House in Marina by the Tinubu Shettima Women Presidential Campaign team, led by the group's chairperson, Oluwemi Tinubu, sets the tone for the colorful campaign gathering at the Mobility Johnson Sports Complex.
This is your show. This is your campaign. These women are here to just, honor you and to thank you for all the support you've given us.
We're excited because you're not taking a backseat, and I can assure you that the government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima, we will ensure that we have that gender friendliness, that equality that we're talking about.
The flag off of the All Progressives Congress presidential rally by the Southwest APC women is born out of the need to complement the efforts of the party and to organize women in the region for the success of APC at the 2023 polls.
Our women to deliver our place and give our party victory.
Vote in Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He will empower women. He will give us appointed positions.
All the women of Southwest, we are here to support the ideals of the presidential candidate. We will deliver.
The leadership of the APC Women Presidential Team emphasized that the women wing of the party is passionate about executing innovative programs targeted at meeting the needs of teeming youths and women population in the country.
Those are truly the visionary, they are doers, they are thinkers. And sincerely speaking, APC is the best option for Nigeria.
Also, in the course of the week, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, pledged his commitment to boosting Nigeria's economy if elected in the forthcoming general elections. He said this in Oyo State, where he also promised to give priority attention to Nigeria's unity.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who arrived the Kano Sports Center alongside his running mate, Baba Ahmed Dati, and other party stalwarts, was received by his supporters. The presidential candidate, in company of his wife, promises to reposition Nigeria through provision of quality education and improved healthcare delivery. He assures of total fight against corruption and adequate security for Nigerians. The Labour Party vice presidential candidate also called for support from the people.
It's time for Nigeria to belong to everybody. God has given you a sword that is ready to wipe your tears. A sword that is loved not to be by his people. All Nigerians.
All the youths have queued behind of me. But when they locked up their shops today to welcome Peter Obi, that's to tell you that votes in Imo State will be for Peter Obi.
This visit also afforded the party opportunity to canvass support for all candidates of the Labour Party.
Our interview segment features Labour Party presidential candidate and former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, was speaking with NTA's Adeni Taiwo.
We're talking about trust. Is that if, for example, we're talking about trust, and I give an example. If somebody comes and say, I will fight corruption, let's go go and see where have that person worked or been able to manage resources that will show that we can trust him with the resources of the nation. I'll give you an example. When you talk about corruption perception index, it's measured strictly on management of public assets. That include if you're a local government chairman, how did you manage the public well? How did you do appointments? If you're a governor, same thing. How did you manage allocation of lands? How did you do appointments? Because nepotism is the major part of corruption. How did you manage public wealth and everything? I've been governor in Anambra State. Go there, you will not see nobody from my community, my town, was appointed a commissioner. None of my town people became chief of staff, like it is most people. Nobody. You go and see the appointments. It was done the way it should be. Go and look for any piece of land, directly or indirectly, allocated to me, my wife, or my family. You will not see one. And of course, I can't always say, the day I left office, nobody was asked. I said I was not owing one, any supplier who had delivered what we ordered. Any contractor who have executed a certificate rate, I wasn't owing pension, gratuity, or salary to the civil servant. And I left in covers of Anambra State for the benefit of the state in 3 banks. First, Access Bank, $50 million, about $10 billion. Diamond Bank, $50 million, about $10 billion. Fidelity Bank, $50 million, about $10 billion. And to date, Anambra State, when I was living, the house came to me and said, we're going to do a law for the pension of the governor, for severance allowance, everything to date. Go and check. Anambra has not brought me a bottle of water. The trust I want them is to look at it and not look at where they are today. And I'm saying, if you look at where you are today, you see that it's not the issue of a northerner being in charge. The north is not more secure than the south. The north has more poverty than the south and everything. And I'm saying I have a solution to it. I'll say with it. If there's one person who will say the north hold me responsible today, it is Peter Obi. I'm going to turn around and touch. I said, where will I start? Agriculture. By Nigeria feeding itself, I will double the GDP component of agriculture. It's 21% today, 41 trillion, and about 180 GDP trillion. The agriculture is about 41 trillion. And we're not feeding ourselves completely. If we do feed ourselves today completely, that can be doubled. If we do exports, we won't be talking about sharing money from us. They are living in something better than oil. You need somebody to unlock it. And I have what it takes to unlock it. And I will unlock it. Because I keep saying I will invest in the youth. They are the future. They have the talent, they have the energy. What they need is an articulated physical and monetary support, the right direction. And they will get it. Because I'm going to have a percentage of lending that will go directly to them. I'm going to have the physical support that will go to them. And above all, I'm going to give them what we can call the moral support by making sure that we supervise and encourage them, celebrate them And that's what it is. The youth here have been neglected. Nobody has seen them as stars. There's so many things you can do. Look at the countries in Africa that are playing, put together, actually about 130 million in population, about 130 million, and we're 220. So we almost double the population. We can't be out of it. We should be building the park.
So keep on watching Political Update. We have many of the presidential candidates lining up to spice up our interview segment. Now moving on, the Women's Situation Room Nigeria says it is possible to eradicate violence against women before, during and after elections. It is therefore advancing these thoughts at a consultative dialogue ahead of next year's general elections.
Violence during elections is undemocratic and negatively affects voters' turnout during elections. This dialogue is seeking to find solutions to the menace as it affects the women folk, especially during elections. A rapid assessment was already conducted in 10 focal states for validation from stakeholders in that direction.
Women and youth bear the brunt of violence in the communities and the state. And that key thing that is very interesting is that political violence is rated the highest type of violence across all the states. So this is really very indicative going into 2023 election. You see that there's a lot of work to be done.
It's a collective work, because these intimidations start from even the family. You have some husbands that will tell their wife, if you are going to vote, this is the person you will vote for. And it goes on and on like that, even within the society.
Population is also on the increase, awareness is on the increase, and determination on the increase. Giving up is not an option.
The presentation would further enable the Women's Situation Room Nigeria to identify gaps in existing strategies towards ensuring an inclusive, free and fair election with substantive participation of the electorate, most especially women.
A coalition of civil society organizations under the banner of the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum and the Middle Belt Youth Forum says the withdrawal limit policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria is a lethal blow to vote buyers and election riggers.
In 2023, there will be a general election. There will also be the removal of petroleum subsidy. These two events have the capacity of pumping unofficial money into the system. And if the central bank does not have control of the situation, the Nigerian economy can get out of hand and citizens will suffer for it.
Before we go, a quick eye on security. So we recall President Muhammadu Buhari's directive to the nation's armed forces to remain apolitical and continue to operate within the framework of the Constitution towards ensuring the successful conduct of the 2023 general elections. The President gave the charge while declaring open the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference.
Also imperative for me to state that the Army and the armed forces in general remain apolitical as it be required to support the civil authority by providing a peaceful environment to enable the successful conduct of the 2023 general elections.
I want to assure Mr. President and indeed Nigerians, the Republic of Nigeria, and the defense of the territorial integrity of this great nation.
The Ministry of Defense will continue to work with the stakeholders to provide the necessary strategic guidance to enhance our national security.
On behalf of my brother governors of the North and indeed governors of the country, rest assured, Mr. President, for our continued support and collaboration in this direction for us to achieve lasting peace in our dear country.
That concludes Political Update today. We've gone round the entire gamut, and that is talking, of course, we ended with security. We spoke women, youth, and of course, some of the candidates on the ballot and of course on the podium at the moment, canvassing voters, also interacting with Nigerian voters and the electorate and the citizenry in general about their the direction of state if given the opportunity to lead. Of course, the ballot is in February next year, and it's just 3 weeks away to enter into the year 2023. Keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority for political news, reviews, previews, and interviews. And of course, mine is a political animal, so play your politics. politics for the greater good